Hey, this is Stephen Fruitt. Thanks for stopping by for this week's edition of Friday Fruitt. When you hear the name Jesus, what do you think about? So when I think of the name Jesus, I think about Jesus as the prophet, Jesus as the priest, and Jesus as the king. In the Old Testament days, they wanted a monarchy system, and God wanted a theocratic government where He would lead His people. So after many years of begging and pleading, God gave in, and He gave them a monarchy system where He elected a king. And when He gave them the king, He said, I still want my messenger, my mouthpiece, and that would be the prophet that would speak to the king on behalf of what God wanted the nation of Israel to do. And so in the New Testament, we see that Jesus comes on the scene as the prophet, and He speaks on God's behalf. Even in John chapter 8, Jesus says, but He who sent me is reliable, and what I have heard from Him, I will tell the world. So Jesus came with a message as a prophet of what God wanted for His people. Which is interesting, because that leads me to my second point, that Jesus is the priest. So in the Old Testament days, there was the prophet, but there was also the priest that would go in and make a sacrifice. The high priest would actually go in once a year on the Yom Kippur, and he would go in and make a sacrifice, and he would get a message from God of what He wanted the nation of Israel to do. What's interesting to me that Jesus becomes our high priest. When He was crucified on the cross, see, the veil was torn, and no longer was it just a high priest that could have access to the righteousness or holiness of God. Now each one of us who believe in Jesus as the high priest, now we have one-on-one access with God, which leads me to my third point. Jesus is our King. In Revelation chapter 19, John would write, on His robe and on His thigh He has the name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. See, that's just it. Jesus is our King. And not only did He pay a price for us, did He sacrifice Himself on the cross, now that we have that one-on-one access, but the fact is He's coming back. He is our King, and He will rule over us, and He will give us the direction in which God has chosen for His people. So I hope this blesses you, and maybe the challenge this week is, what do you think about when you hear the name Jesus? Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, please do so, and you check out more of my videos. If you want to know more about my story, you can head over to my website at stephenfruitt.com. And remember, keep worshiping, and God bless.